We are in conversation right now with Mr. Varun Berry, the MD of Britannia Industries, to take us through the quarter and, of course, the outlook for the company as well. Mr. Berry, good morning and thanks for joining us. Let me just start off by suggesting that we all know that Britannia has created a very, very strong niche in premium products. But over the past 1 year, what I've noticed in the vending machine in my office, in the general stores that I go to, as well as the supermarkets, is that while Britannia products are very much there and present on the shelves, there is a little bit of a seeping from the other regional players, and by that I mean the premium brand category. My question is, what's Britannia now doing to deepen the moat and tackle competition in the areas it was always strong in?
Right. So you're talking about the premium products, I'm guessing. So if you look at the premium product portfolio that we have, we are certainly the strongest, but we are not the only one. And I do think that ITC has a fairly strong premium portfolio. Even Parle has tried to build a strong premium portfolio, and they have been advertising pretty heavily. But remember one thing, that as competition grows in a certain segment, it becomes the growths in that segment become much higher than what they've ever been. So I'm glad that everyone is making the right moves in the premium segment, because this will make sure that this segment grows much faster than the overall biscuit market. And obviously, being market leaders in this segment, the advantage will be to us if we do all the right things, if we create the right portfolio, if we continue to bring choices for the consumers, and that's exactly what we plan to do.
And that will involve mostly changing and adapting your product strategy according to the circumstances of the markets by that. Yeah, no, absolutely. And also bringing in the right technologies to develop products which are first to market, which are very different from what consumers have tasted in the market. Also democratizing the products to make sure that it doesn't just become a product for a person who can afford it, but there is a certain SKU which is available even for people who are not willing to spend too much money on indulgent products. So democratization is also a very important strategy for us as we embark on this journey this year.
Hi, Mr. Berry. Good morning to you. Well, the numbers look pretty much steady, almost in line with what the street was estimating. And if I look at the operating performance, you've managed to expand the gross margins. The EBITDA margins too have come in the range of 15% plus. And that is majorly on account of softening of some of the commodity prices that we've seen in the form of sugar, milk, or wheat. What I want to understand, you've reported a double-digit volume growth. Now entering into FY19, what's the focus going to be like? Is it going to be on the volume growth? And if the softening in this commodity prices continue, would you relook at your pricing strategy?
So just to clarify, while yes, there has been a softening in the commodity prices as far as sugar, flour, as well as milk is concerned, there's been a fairly high inflation as far as oil is concerned. The oil import duties have gone up from 7.5% odd to 48%. So overall, there has been a little bit of inflation, I would say manageable inflation in the overall commodity basket. But that's certainly manageable. But just to clarify that it's not that there is no inflation or deflation in the commodity basket. No, it's not that scenario. But hopefully, as we go forward, things will remain as they are. Inflation will remain within a certain band. And that will give us the ability to maintain prices and to make sure that we are able to work on all the demand generation initiatives that we have up our sleeve for the year. And that would also make sure that the growths, the volume growths and the revenue growths stay at a level that we feel that India should be reflecting. And I've always been dreaming about double-digit volume growths. We've seen two quarters of double-digit volume growths, and we are hoping that we will be able to continue with this.
Mr. Berry, in what geographies do you think that there still needs some work when it comes to distribution of Britannia's products?
So the Hindi belt continues to be our weakest area. While we've seen a lot of traction in our market shares and our distribution in those areas, but we are still, a distant second, or even in certain states, a number 3 player. So that will continue to be our focus. We will make sure that we continue to focus on distribution, demand generation, market share growths in the Hindi belt. But no, that's not the only area where we've got areas of weakness. There are other states as well which have segments where we've got some work to do. So we continue to work through all of these to make sure that we continue to see a distribution gain. And actually last year has been one year where our distribution numbers have been growing month on month. And that gives me a lot of confidence in what our team can perform to, and what we can take this company to.
Right, Mr. Berry, for shifting focus to the dairy market, and your press release does suggest that the dairy business has been subdued and the focus will continue to be on value-added products. My question here is that we are hearing a lot about other players who usually ran their business of milk as a commoditized product are now also getting into value-added products, and this of course is to a certain extent to do with margins and enjoying better realizations. How are you tackling competition in this area?
So as far as dairy is concerned, the dairy, as you rightly say, the milk prices have been soft, and that is giving some kind of tailwind to dairy players. However, our strategy is not to be in every dairy category possible. We would like to be only in the value-added categories. So out of the portfolio that we have today, the most value-added part of our portfolio is cheese. So as we go forward, we would like to make sure that we put a back end for cheese. We start to produce products which are value-added, which have the right traction with the consumers. And that really is what we are looking at. We are not looking at getting into products which are milk, so basic products we are not, because the amount of value addition in those products is not enough to give us a premium and a profit in those categories.